Today is yoga for strength. We're going to do a lot of shoulder work and some balancing play, some arm balancing play. So take it slow. Don't do anything that your body's not ready for. Stick to the prep exercises. Grab your blocks if you have them. And we're going to start down on our backs. So start to land down on your back. Find your hips. Soften your low back, soften your shoulders, take a little sway of the head, start to soften the neck, and ground and find yourself in present moment. So really starting to let go of all of the to-do list, let go of things that have happened and things that are yet to happen, and start to land in the here and now. Start to just feel your body on the mat. And then start to observe your breath. Notice if you start to focus in on your breath, if you have any tension and forceful muscular action, and just start to observe your breath. Watch your breath coming in. Notice its pattern. And then we're going to start to intentionally manipulate the breath. So we're going to breathe in nice and slow, not with muscular force. Add a gentle pause, and then breathe out, maybe even a little slower than the inhale, and then add another gentle pause. And if it helps you to stay focused on doing this with intention and softness rather than muscular force, you can talk yourself through it. I am breathing in, gentle pause. I'm very slowly breathing out, gentle pause. Start to notice if you can gently lengthen each pause, maybe even lengthen the inhale and exhale. But if any of your pauses are so long that you're starting to add a little force, a little tension, let it go and start over. And then let all thoughts of your breathing go and check in one more time. Notice your emotional state. Notice the state of your mind. Do a body scan looking for any muscular tension. And then I invite you to stay present with your body for the rest of practice. So really giving yourself a little promise. I will be present. Maybe even when your mind starts to wander, returning to that little promise. I will be present. Or I am here now. And then if your feet are not already on the ground with your knees up, bring your feet to the ground, knees up. Take a little side sway of the hips. Notice what's present in the low back and the hips, the glutes. Press the toes firmly down into the ground. Feel your toes. And then pull the toes up and spread the toes wide. Press the toes down. Pull the toes up. Nice and slow, starting to connect with the muscles of your feet. And then landing your feet on the ground, leaving your rib cage on the ground. We're going to inhale, lift the hips. Exhale, lower. Slowly and intentionally. Inhale, lift. Moving with your breath. Exhale, lower. Start to fire up the muscles of the stomach to pull your hips up. And start to fire up all the muscles of the backs of the legs, the glutes. See if you can slow the hips down rather than pulling up and allowing them to just flop down. Resist your own movement. And then lower the hips down. Take the heels a little bit further away from the glutes. So land the heels further away, and we're going to return to that same movement, changing it up just a little. So inhale, lift the hips, and exhale, lower. If you want a little more of a challenge, you're going to push the heels into the ground and pull the toes up. Inhale, lift. Exhale, lower. Feel like you're trying to pull your heels towards your glutes without letting your heels move. So really fire up the backs of your legs. And then lower the hips. Take a little side sway with the knees. Let all the tension soften. And then take the feet to the ceiling. So legs bent, just get your feet up above your hips. Spread the toes, take some ankle circles, just starting to think about the feet. And then we're going to fire up the core muscles. So really thinking about our stomach. Press your hips down into the ground really firmly. Press your rib cage down into the ground firmly. We're going to inhale as we slowly lower the right leg towards the ground. Exhale as we bring it back. Inhale as we lower the left. Exhale as we bring it back. Follow your own breath. Move slow. And notice if your lower back is starting to fire up. Make sure it's your stomach that's doing all the work here. If it's firing up, don't lower your foot so low. Watch for your compensation patterns in your neck. Soft shoulders, soft neck, soft face. All the heat should be coming into these core muscles, deep in this core. Complete a round, bring the knees in towards the chest, give yourself a little hug, reset. And then we're going to set up again for another core exercise. So knees above the hips, press your hips down firmly into the ground with your stomach muscles. Press your rib cage down, bring your ankles even with your knees, fire up your legs, hands to thighs. We're going to inhale as we lengthen, left arm overhead, lengthen left leg. Bring it back as you exhale. Inhale, right arm, right leg. Back as you exhale. So the goal is to keep your stomach so fired up that your torso doesn't move. Legs strong. Face soft. Bring your knees in, give yourself a little hug, reset, and then roll on over to a side and come on up to a tabletop position. So landing in your tabletop, we're going to inhale tabletop, exhale towards child's. Moving, breathing, starting to feel our arms and shoulders. And making your own practice, so starting to really assess what's going on in your own body. If you like to stay simple, pump up slow, stay with this. Or if you're ready to pump it up a little, you're going to bend the elbows as you come forward and take a little press up shape. And then exhale back to child's pose. Fire up the chest. And if you're ready to go to the next step, tuck the toes, come forward, and then send it back. So keeping the knees hovered. Strong, engaged shoulders. Wherever you're at, pause in a child's pose, reset. And then we're going to slowly lower all the way through to crocodile pose. So stomach down, one hand on top of the other. Forehead down, shimmy the hips. We're going to do our pattern for releasing tension in shoulders and upper back. So hands out wide, not strengthen the muscles this time. We're going to lift our shoulders up. Inhale, center. Exhale, drop one shoulder to the midline and turn and look towards the opposite foot. Inhale, center. Exhale, turn. So muscles are not strong. You're just trying to move through the range of motion in your shoulders, in your upper back. Start to really just feel what is present. See if there's any tension there. Move with your breath and start to adjust the movement and what feels right in your body. So slow it down, explore what's present. And then bring it back to crocodile pose. Shimmy the hips, let go. We're going to move into firing up the back and then moving immediately into firing up the core. So bringing our forearms down to the ground, not directly under the shoulders. Engage the arms as if you're pulling the arms apart. Tuck the toes and pull from the tailbone up. Come on up to a forearm plank. Hold here, get really, really strong. Hold and breathe. Imagine you're pulling the elbows apart without letting them move. Fire up more arms and shoulders. And then lower down, quick reset, and then straight up to a float. So lift the shoulders and feet. Fire up the muscles of the back. Breathe. Forearms down, engage the forearms, tuck the toes, pull from the tailbone, forearm plank. Breathe and hold. Lower down slow and with control. Quick reset and then straight to a lifting of the shoulders and the feet. Really find the muscles of the back. If you want, you can bend the elbows and pull them back. Find the muscles in between the shoulder blades. Breathe and hold. Forearms down, straight to forearm plank. Lower the knees one more time, lifting up. Shoulders and feet engage all of the back. Breathe. And then bring it back to crocodile. This time shimmy the hips. See what you can let go of. Maybe sighing out of the mouth. Slowly make your way back to a child's pose. Nice and slow. We're going to place our forearms down again. So not directly underneath your shoulders. Give your elbows a little space, so a little bit forward of your shoulders, and engage. Stay here if this is where you feel a lot of strength. So you're trying to pull your elbows apart with all the muscles of your arms and shoulders. Tuck the toes and hover the knees if you're ready to pump it up. And then really slow and controlled, we're going to take our nose a teeny bit forward, about an inch, and then a teeny bit back. Slow and controlled. Inhale forward. Exhale back. Keep the arms and shoulders engaged and in control. Watch for buckling. And if you're ready to pump it up a little more, you're going to slowly step the feet in and lift the hips a little more. Little tiny dolphin push-ups. And then wherever you're at, lower the knees, child's pose, reset. Make your way to down dog. Warm up your down dog in whichever way feels right for your body. Pedaling out the legs, swaying the hips. And then find the stillness of down dog. Turn your world upside down. Find your breath. Really strong in the arms and shoulders, not letting them move. Bend the knees a teeny bit. Slowly take the right heel up to the ceiling without moving the arms and shoulders. As slow as you can, engage the leg. Stay engaged in the arms and shoulders. Bend the right knee. Take the right knee out to the right, open up. And we're going to pull the right knee up to the ceiling and then pull it down. Pull your right knee up and then pull it down. Little twist in the hips. Trying to keep all the rest of your base soft, as strong and solid. And then extend the right leg to the ceiling and step through low lunge. Finding your blocks. Bending your knee, inhale low lunge, exhale send that right leg towards straight. Inhale forward. Finding the muscles of your legs, taking any sways, any adjustments of the weight on your legs that feel right. Warming up your legs. And then find a strong low lunge. Both legs really strong, pulling up out of the ground all the way to the right hip. Maybe coming up off your thigh a little more, maybe coming up off your blocks, really strong and engaged. And then deep inhale all the way up, high lunge. Find a really strong base. Legs are both strong and active, hips are even and facing forward. We're going to inhale our arms up. Exhale, draw the elbows open and wide. Inhale up. You can start to take this movement a little bit into the legs or just keep it in the arms and shoulders. Bring it down, open up, hold. Engage, pull the shoulders open wide. Pull the elbows open wide. Breathe. And then bring your hands to prayer. We're going to bring the weight onto the right leg and slowly pop up that left. See if you can pop it all the way to Warrior 3. Arms can stay at prayer. They can open up, hold and balance. Bend the back leg. See if you can come all the way up to stand, left leg bent and forward. Slow. Engage this left leg. Hold. Hands can come for prayer. We're going to pull the heel. So we're going to pull this left heel in and then out. In and out. Hands out if you're struggling with balance. Engage the leg. Move with your breath. In and out. Find the inner thigh on the left leg. Get tall in the spine. Soften the shoulders. Bring the left knee in. Center. Strong leg. Slowly send it past the right back to high lunge. Slow as you can. Controlled. Frame out the front foot. Right foot meets left high plank. Breathe and hold in a strong high plank. And if you're ready for a break, meet me in child's. If you're ready to keep pumping it up, we're going to go down to our forearms one at a time. So lower down left forearm, right forearm, and then pick left forearm, right forearm up. Nice and slow. You can also do this with your knees down until you get the hang of it. You can do it with your knees at a hover so that your shoulders are nice and strong. Slow, 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 slow. Go with control. And then meet me in child's pose, reset. Back to down dog. Find a firm base in your down dog. Get the arms and shoulders strong. And without the arms and shoulders moving, a little bend in the knees. Slowly lift left heel to the ceiling without the arms and shoulders moving, really strong. Bend the left leg. Bring the left knee out towards the left and then back in. Out and in. Trying to not just flop the leg around in the hip, but find the muscles that make this movement happen. Slow it down, resist your own movement. The left leg long, reach the heel to the ceiling, and then step through. Low lunge. Set up, move and breathe. Inhale, bend the leg. Exhale, send the left leg towards straight. Making this your practice, move your hips and your legs in whichever way feels like it's finding the tension in your own legs. Try not to grip with the left toes. And then find a strong low lunge. Both legs really strong, lifting with all the muscles of your stomach and back. Get the torso off the thighs. Maybe float the arms. And then inhale as you rise slowly up, high lunge. This time we're going to reach up tall. Exhale, sweep the arms back. So we inhale, reach up tall. Exhale, sweep the arms back. Small movement, just moving through the arms and shoulders. Arms and shoulders are engaged. You're trying to feel all the ways that your arms and shoulders can move. Find a high lunge and then bring your prayer to heart. Weight onto the left leg. Slowly pop up the right. See if you can come all the way to warrior 3. Engage, balance, challenge. Bend the back leg. Come all the way up to stand. Right knee forward. And draw the right ankle in and out. Trying to find the muscles at inner thigh. Resist the movement. Challenge your balance. And then bring the knee and ankle center. Slowly send it past the left. High lunge. Slow and controlled. And then frame out the front foot. High plank. Either Mimi and Childs or find the challenge. This time we're really going to move through the shoulders. So important thing, this is buckling in the shoulders. This is engaged arms and shoulders and chest. You want to be engaged. If you cannot hold the engagement, don't try this. So landing in your arms and shoulders, very, very strong. Start with your knees down if you haven't done this before. We're going to come onto the right side, lift the left, open up. Lots of strength in that right shoulder. Back through center and up the other side. Slow, controlled, resist your own movement. You can start to come all the way to side plank, nice and slow. And then wherever you're at, Mimi and Child's Pose. This time flip your palms up. Really release the shoulders. Come on up to tabletop. Take some strength in your arms so we're not hanging out in the shoulders. Strong in the arms and shoulders. We're going to take little circles with the shoulders with some weight in the arms. So one at a time, roll the shoulder, little circles. Just trying to work through the muscles of the shoulder, range of motion. Nice and slow. And as you get the hang of it, maybe taking both shoulders in slow circles. And then see if you can reverse the direction. Slow, controlled, feeling your shoulders. And then regular tabletop and back to down dog. So we're going to work through floating practice, so arm balance practice. I'm going to take the right leg up to the ceiling, bend in the left. We're going to take the right leg past the left leg, so bring it past. We're going to pull it up and over and tap the ground on the right side. Up and over past the left. So just get the hang of this movement nice and slow. Your leg is not flopping in space. We're not just wiggling it around. We're trying to resist the movement. We're engaging our arms, chest, shoulders, stomach. And then if you're ready to pump it up and play with floating, you're gonna hop. So little light hop. Make sure you're slowing the down so you're landing nice and light. Maybe even catching some air time. Breathe. And then land, three-legged dog. This time, step the right leg through, drop the back leg, warrior two legs, come on up. Find your base. Strong legs pull up out of the ground. We're going to take our shoulders and we're going to roll them forward and then roll them back nice and slow. And then take a deep inhale as we reverse into reverse triangle, straighten the front leg. Exhale back to warrior two. Inhale up, reverse triangle. Exhale back, warrior two. Try to keep both legs strong and engaged. Come to warrior two, hands to hips. Turn toes out, heels in, face the side of the mat. So star pose. Get strong feet like you're trying to pull them back towards each other. Really active legs. Bring it down, goddess pose. So set up your base first. Legs are super strong. Find a place where you feel very strong. You can hold. Don't go all the way down because we're going to be here a while. Strong legs engaged. Hands behind us. So hands behind the hips. We're going to take little side, looking for the obliques. So a little push down, back to center. A little push down. Try to keep the legs still. If you like and you're trying to locate that mind-body connection, you can actually feel the muscles between the rib cage and the hip as you push down. And then straighten up the legs, turn the feet parallel, and take a little wiggle of the legs, loosen the muscles, soften. And then we're going to forward fold. So legs wider, inner thigh, legs closer together is going to work the back of the leg. So forward fold, you can grab your blocks so you can keep your torso up. Once you get here, start to really engage the legs. So you want to feel like you're pulling the feet apart actively without letting them move. And you can hold this static or take little side sways. So with legs still, take a little side sway of the hips, left and right. You're going to find inner thigh a little more. So make sure you're feeling this in inner leg and not up in the lower back and in the sacrum. Ungrip your toes, soften your toes. Bend the knees, bring your hands to your hips, engage your stomach and legs, and come on all the way back up. We're going to connect to our breath here. Inhale, hands overhead, and exhale, prayer to heart. Hands to prayer, heart space. Slowly turn your right foot back out and find warrior two. Nice and strong legs. Pivot on the back foot, frame out the front, high plank. And then straight to down dog. So down dog, we're gonna take down dog push-ups. Take your hands a little bit wider than they normally are. Think about the crown of your head going to the ground. We're gonna bend our elbows lower. and then back. Nice and slow with control. Don't worry about how far you go in the movement. It's better to go a tiny motion as long as you can hold strength. Resist your own movement. And then find a regular down dog. This time we're going to lift the left leg high, little bend in the right knee. Take the left leg past the right foot. We're going to play with that movement. So pulling the left leg up and over, tap to the left, and then back past the right. Nice and slow. Or if you're ready to play with floating, you're going to pull up with the left leg, float off the right, little hop. Slow it down on the way down, so you're going to engage your stomach, engage your legs. Land light. And then three-legged down dog. Step through, drop the back foot, warrior two. I turn around in my down dog, that's fine. That's part of teaching. So my left leg is forward, but I'm not facing the class with my back. Find your warrior two. Nice strong legs. This time we're going to roll one shoulder at a time. So drop one forward, roll one back. Little rolls. Just kind of undoing tension in the shoulders. This is not muscular action. And then warrior two. Inhale back, reverse triangle. Exhale back to warrior two, moving with your breath. Engage legs. Hold a warrior two, nice and strong. And then you're going to pivot on the back foot, frame out the front, high plank. Hold a high plank. If you're ready, drop down to child's pose. Otherwise, inhale, high plank. Exhale, down dog. Move with your breath. Inhale, high plank. And exhale, down dog. Slowly lower the knees and come to child's pose if you're not already there. And reset. So we made it to playtime. Options for playtime. If you're working for handstand, you can start to work up to handstand. If you want to move towards forearm stand, or you just want to build strength for forearm stand, we're just going to start in dolphin. So forearms down, engaging. So our hands are not just resting on the ground. We're trying to pull our elbows apart strongly with all the muscles of our chest. Tuck the toes and slowly walk the hips up towards the shoulders. Slow. Let the head drop. Release the tension in the neck and hold here. So really pulling up out of the ground. Very active in the back of the arm, pulling up from the muscles of the chest. if you're ready to start pulling up, you're going to bend one knee and slowly take one leg up to the ceiling. Bend the other, lower the foot, and take it up nice and slow. Just think about pulling from the muscles deep in the core rather than kicking up. So you want to be strong in the forearms and shoulders and pulling, not kicking. And then lower down and come on up to a seated position. So find a seat that's comfortable for you. We're working the shoulders, so releasing the shoulders. We're going to take our fingers, flick some glitter away, loosen the arms. So soften through the shoulders and arms. And then bring one shoulder at a time. Nice slow roll. And then squeeze the shoulder blades together as tight as you can. Squeeze them together. Hold them together. And then slowly draw the shoulders with that squeeze up to the ears. So slow, slow, slow. And then slow all the way back down. Slow up. And slow down. And then pick your shoulders, pull them all the way up to your ears. Squeeze as tight as you can. Maybe even make fists. Get strong in the arms and shoulders. Squeeze, squeeze, squeeze. Take a deep breath in, and with the exhale, try and let your shoulders really flop to the ground. See if you can soften them a little more. We're going to take our right arm across midline. We're going to hold it. So left hand comes to forearm, push back into the hand. So you're going to feel the muscles on the top of the shoulder. So you want to push into the hand with your forearm and pull the shoulder back and down. Breathe. So whenever you add force, make sure that you're countering the force. So you're feeling muscles, not just pushing into joints. Let it go. Keep the hand across the midline. So we're going to think about pulling from underneath the armpit. Pull the shoulder down. See if you can pull down. Teeny movement with this muscle group right in underneath shoulder. And then let the right arm go. Notice left and right sides. Left arm across the midline, right arm to the forearm. Press the hand into arm, arm into the hand, and then pull the shoulder down and back. Breathe. Let go of the arm, and then keeping the left arm across midline, pulling down from this muscle group in underneath the armpit. If you cannot find it, bring your hand here to remind you where you're pulling from. Pull the shoulder down and back, down and back. Push away, pull back. Bring your arms down. Take a little feel of the shoulders. Get really tall in the neck, and then take right ear towards right shoulder. If you like, you can tuck the left hand behind the left hip and just give a little counter. So pushing the left hand a little bit onto the hip. Maybe feel the left side of the neck a little more. Breathe. Slowly bring the head back to center and then left ear to left shoulder. And you can tuck the right hand behind the right hip. Head back to neutral. Slowly make your way back down to the ground. So landing on the ground with your feet down, knees up. Take a little side sway of the hips. Make sure there's no tension in the low back. Land the shoulders on the ground. So try to really get the shoulders on the ground. Take some wiggles, get the shoulders on the ground as much as possible. Watch for over tilting the pelvis and pushing the low back down onto the ground. Try to have the natural curves of your back. So hips are on the ground, shoulders are on the ground. Head is on the ground, back of the neck has a curve. Take your arms up in the air. We're going to reach the fingertips to the ceiling and then try and let the shoulder drop. So reach one at a time and let the shoulder drop. Reach and drop. We're looking to get those little wiggles, that somatic shake in the muscles. Trying to loosen and soften the shoulders. We work them a lot. So now we're just trying to loosen. Let go of some tension. And then bring the hands down to the ground, wherever the shoulders are comfortable. So close to the hips, close to the shoulders, doesn't matter. Palms up. So you can get the shoulders down to the ground and notice if there's still any gripping across the front of the chest. So if there's not, stay here, breathing in. And with every exhale, see if you can soften the shoulders a little more to the ground. If you still have some tension there, you're going to bring your hands about halfway between the hips and the shoulders. Place the palms down. You're going to press the palms into the ground and press the shoulder blades into the ground. Make sure your neck is not firing up. You're just trying to fire up those muscles across the front of the shoulders and chest. Press, 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 press. Get that mind-body connection of what it feels like to have these muscles firing strong. Take a deep breath in, and with the exhale, see if you can really let everything go. Take an assessment, see if there's still some gripping. If there's not, just keep breathing. Breathing in fresh across the chest. Exhaling, letting tension go and letting the shoulders drop more to the ground. Otherwise, you're going to flip the palms at a 45, halfway between the hips and the shoulders. Palms up. Press the backs of the hands into the ground and the shoulders into the ground. This time, a little bit different muscle group. Press and fire up. Turn off the neck, turn off the low back, turn off the face, soft face. Fire up the muscles. Deep breath in. And with the exhale, suddenly let everything go. See if there's a little more softness in the shoulders. And then we're going to move on to our full somatic shake. So looking for a full body wiggle of the muscles. You want to be like a bowl of jelly, just wiggling soft. We're going to take the heels down onto the ground, almost legs straight. So a little soft bend in the knees, not so much that you're pulling into your lower back. Little soft bend in your knees so you have some space to move. You're going to flick your toes back and forth to get your body wiggling. So flicking the toes and wiggle. And we do this for about a minute. So particularly paying attention to any parts of your body that are not wiggling. Not that we pay attention to it and try and force it to wiggle. We just notice perhaps where there's a holding pattern. Little soft wiggles. Back and forth. Maybe even starting to feel the muscles in your back soften and wiggle. Maybe even feeling the muscles of your face wiggling. Maybe you can feel the muscles along the side of your torso softening. Maybe your stomach wiggling, everything soft. And then take a deep breath in, and as you exhale, let your body land wherever it lands and really take a scan. So particularly noticing left and right sides. Notice left and right foot. Notice if one landed center and one landed outside. Not trying to cognitively understand, just bringing body awareness to your position in space. Because that simple connection can help your body reset some of these holding patterns. So just looking, feeling with your own inner wisdom what's going on in your muscles, your body. And then making any small adjustments you might need for your resting pose. Finding a place that you can be completely at rest. Starting to relieve all the tension from the body. Landing on the ground. So what is our resting pose? Our resting pose is supposed to be getting us as close to being a corpse as we can get. Letting all of the tension out of the body. Landing on the ground. Letting the ground carry the weight of our body. Letting our breath begin to flow in whatever natural pattern our body wants in this moment. Letting our thoughts flow. Soften your feet. Soften your hands. Soften the muscles of the face. Bring all the awareness to the center of the brain, as if we're resting right on top of the spinal cord. The place just below the thoughts. The place just below all the firings of the mind. As if we could sit here in the center and look back at the thoughts. Notice that they fire. And observe rather than be caught in the spiral. And slowly draw your awareness closer and closer to the heart center. I'm going to read from the Radiant Sutra today. So listening as if you were listening from the heart space rather than the cognitive head. These books were written in a time when the language was for poetry and meant to be understood from the heart, not the head. Meditate on the self as being, vast as the sky, a body of energy, extending forever in all directions. Above, below, all around. In the embrace of infinite space, awaken to your true form, divine creative energy, revealing herself as you. Softening further and further and deeper within towards the heart space. Becoming quieter and quieter. Perhaps even finding the sound of your own heartbeat, the unstruck chord. And each time the mind does what it does and draws you away from the heart center, gently walk your attention slowly, patiently back down towards the heart center, not minding how many times you have to do it, not punishing yourself for getting caught up in your thoughts, just gently, slowly, patiently walking back towards the heart center, the internal hum. If you have the time to spend more time in your resting pose, please take as much time as you need. If you need to finish up at that 60-minute mark, begin to return to present moment. Bring some soft wiggles to the fingers and toes. And slowly curl up in a ball in a fetal position on whatever side is calling to you. Landing in the fetal position. Connecting to the meaning of this pose, being in a fetal position, reminding you of a time in the womb when all your needs were met. You had not judged yourself as negative or positive. You were simply a spark of life. That spark of life that exists within in our heart center, unchanged by our experiences, waiting patiently for us to connect within. Imagine this heart center expanding and softening and breaking down the walls and barriers of protection, and perhaps some of these barriers of protections landing on the mat. Without cognitively trying to understand perhaps what these walls are, perhaps the experiences and memories, but just allowing a softening, a landing. Letting go of what you're ready to let go of. And then as you slowly come on up to a seat, bringing your hands to prayer heart space, imagine rising a little bit softer, a little bit lighter, a little bit taller, a little bit less on your shoulders and chest. And connect to bringing your hands to prayer heart space, bringing your left and right sides to meet in front of your heart, as if accepting yourself as whole and complete, precisely as you are. And may we all know a little love, light, and connection. Thanks for joining us.